it's just so it's so amazing to look at how people conceptualize themselves. We don't even tend to question, you know, the question, who am I, because we think we know who I am. But we're continually learning about new things, and in the learning we sort of ruined the whole concept of learning, because we learn about it and we define it and we say we've understood it, and now we take that conceptual understanding and now that becomes one more thing that makes up me. Now I know that. And we got so much of it, we've been doing it ever since we were a little kid. So we keep assuming that with every experience, with every memory, with everything that we think we know, that we are all of that. And we keep building, and we keep building, and we keep building. And we're consuming new ideas and new concepts and new experiences and adding them to me, adding to who I think I am. And we're so lost in that constructed labyrinth of what we think is self that we just have no idea who we are anymore.
That's true.
And somehow here in this moment, in the midst of our hurry to get to the future, our ruminating about what's happened in the past, this whole construct of past and future and how we visualize it, and my future and my past and so forth, we miss the simplicity of this moment, which isn't all of that at all. It's just this, and it's me here, whoever me is. It's not all of that stuff and all of that baggage. Just the simplicity of being here. We get overwhelmed with all of that stuff and all of the things that are going on, and just to be able to disengage from that, to shift from all of that object-oriented conceptual stuff to just the simplicity of this, while you're carrying on life at the same time,
right,
while you're getting your job done. I recently wrote a review on Amazon.com of one of Eckhart Tolle's DVDs that he has out, and this guy had written his own review of it, and in his review he said it was terrible, and he said anybody that watches this DVD, they're going to think that the way you find your purpose is to sit around watching Oprah and eating all day and doing absolutely nothing.
Right.
And it was a DVD on finding your purpose. And he said that he gave it 1 star, and he said this is a bunch of hogwash. And so I usually don't comment on things like that, but having watched the DVD myself, I had to write a review on it and say something about it. And to bring the stars up a little bit so people wouldn't discount and say, oh, this is just a horrible thing. Yeah. Watch it. But you know what I tried to say in the review is you're missing the point here, buddy. You know, I'm a really busy guy. I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a heavy agenda. I'm flying all over the country. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. I'm not sitting around watching Oprah, eating. And yet, there's this in the midst of it all, whether in an airport or sitting here in front of this camera or whatever. It's all so simple.
Well, I think that people think that being here now with what is can be a rather colorless, lifeless place, because they're so used to living in the mind and imagination, in the very colorful world of imagination, in the very colorful world of what's going to unfold in the future, or even the very colorful world of the past that they've lived already. And those are very active, colorful places the mind lives in. So to be here now with what is can seem very colorless and dry and scary and really non-productive. So people refuse that, and it's very easily understood. But to carry the nowness with you wherever you go, like you're saying, in your travels and in your life, in your very active life, to carry that nowness, be here nowness with you, is possible. And it is not colorless. It is not a dry, cold, colorless place. It's a place of great interest. It's a place of peace. It's like carrying peace with you. But I think it has to be valued. And I think once it's valued and understood, it becomes more of your life and who you really are.
Yeah.
I think that's the key right there, of valuing the nowness of now and the simplicity of now, and allowing it to be a big part of your life instead of that crazy story you live in.
But that was the essence of what Eckhart's DVD was about, is that your purpose is this. Your purpose is just to be here and live your life in the only place that you can really live your life, which is just right here. When about 10 years ago, as you know, I went through just some horrible circumstances that really threw my whole life out of balance. And the thing that pulled me out of it was that realization that everything in this moment is exactly as it should be. And my story was that this is horrible, this shouldn't be happening, this is awful. If only I had done this, if only I hadn't done this, everything would be different, everything could be different. Visualizing in my mind a parallel universe in which everything turned out this way, the way it should have turned out. And then looking at what was actually happening and seeing the contrast between, this is horrible, that would have been perfect. And in the midst of that, getting it, that this is exactly as it should be, because this moment is perfection. This moment is all that is. Everything else is an idea. And the idea that this is wrong, the thing I love about what Eckhart says is he talks about your relationship with the present moment, your relationship with the now. If you have an adversarial relationship with the now, which is all there is, you have an adversarial relationship with yourself. You are caught in such a dichotomy of self-loathing, not realizing that, because you think yourself is something else. You think what you're doing is protecting yourself. You think what you're doing because your survival instinct is coming up and trying to protect all this that you think is you. What you're actually doing is rejecting the present moment, which is more you than anything you've ever thought was you. And your relationship with it is so adversarial that your whole life now is topsy-turvy and in turmoil, and you are so far from achieving your purpose. You keep thinking that your purpose is something that will happen in the future. Your purpose is this, being in alignment with this. And in that alignment with this, in the awareness of that, comes such a shift in all that you thought was you, and everything in terms of lifestyle, that it changes everything. And that's what happened to me 10 years ago, was going from just feeling like a total failure and everything is awful to finally having a relationship, coming to a relationship with this that was transformational.